Hello everyone, this is John Crate and we are back. Rogue Trader. Okay, here's one of the things we're doing. Lord Captain, there's some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassie to the deck. They give so many options to romance her here, and I don't want to.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
It pleases me to see you adjusting to life aboard the ship.
Compared to Urak 5, your ship is a boundless world of unfamiliar hues. And yet, the abundance of bright colors can at times be wearisome on the eyes. The bridge and the decks are so clamorous. In my search for a place of quiet, I was fortunate to come upon this islet of serenity filled with rare tomes and practically devoid of color.
The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Are you satisfied with your new attendants?
Your servants are somewhat sluggish when it comes to attending a noblewoman of the Navis nobility, but they are quite tolerable. Thank you for your concern.
She cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment of her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is clear that she does not feel comfortable aboard a ship teeming with new people. And there's no point in antagonizing her with that. I think that's kind of insulting to her. I see you're fond of reading?
Yes. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
I guess we have to go with this one. Hope you have had ample time to calm yourself.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Let's see. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad. And it is just as natural to share them with others.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
See, like, look at this. This one's just asking her back to your chambers. Understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so... private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Let's see. Perhaps my people do not wish to disturb you.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
And I've already been here, so there's nothing to pick up. To the bridge where we can talk to everybody. Is Yvain Winterscale still on my ship, I wonder? He's gotta be. Okay, to make sure we don't miss anyone, let's start in the front. Bravor? He made a confession lately. Yeah. Oh, okay. We have to finish that again.
Greetings.
Or do we?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Don't tell me about yourself.
I am a part of House Orselio, an ancient dynasty of the Navis nobility. Since time immemorial, our family has served to advance knowledge, pushing at the boundaries of the dark unknown. The Starway Atlas contains 2,843 routes that chart the sectors of the Segmentum Obscurus and reach all the way from the Coronis Expanse to Holy Terra, and uniting the Imperium's thousands of worlds. House Orselio is bound by commercial pacts to houses Galeatis, Ortina, Drotus, and... There is a dark blue knot tightening on your neck, Lord Captain. I can see my reply is not satisfying your thirst for knowledge. What is it you desire to hear exactly?
I guess navigators identify so strongly with their house, it must be difficult for you not to be able to lean on your elders. You have my word, I will look
You
out.
will? That would be most appreciated, Lord Captain.
So you've never lived anywhere other than your
Hardly. According to the chronicles of the house, I was born on one of the Orselio worlds. Oh, what was it? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. My childhood memories are too vague. Sometimes I dream about the colorful birds that built their nests in the garden, or the servants dressed in purple livery, or the blue fog that rolled over the lowlands behind the palace. But everything is covered in a rosy haze. Perhaps it is my imagination, not my memory, that is painting these pictures.
tell you about life on the station.
My stay on the station was wholly dedicated to preparing me for my future duty. Astromancy, astrography, numerology, the histories of my house and the Imperium, as well as other disciplines. For many years, dozens of instructors tirelessly prepared me for my destiny. And once a year, Great Regent Elronto would come to the station. He would entrust his beautiful vessel to my command, so that I could master the practical aspects of our art as well.
Did you have friends, someone you could turn to for a simple conversation, a discussion, or yet another lecture?
The Regent gave me a bird from a sunlit planet once. I tried to befriend it and make it sing, but for some reason, it refused, and died soon after. The instructors were too respectful of my duty to my house to waste precious time on idle chatter. Aside from them, there were only servants on the station, and you know they have their vocal cords removed, so they cannot break their vow of silence. And since the subject has been breached, Lord Captain, why do you not follow this honored tradition? Your decks are so garish. Apologies, I meant noisy. The rabble don't just chatter. Sometimes they shout and even sing. Why do you allow such a lack of restraint? Rogue traders are highborn, are they not?
The ruler cannot maim people just because it is in his power to do so. On the contrary, it is the duty of every ruler to look after his subjects.
Your words sound amazingly blasphemous. If a ruler's duty dictates the need for violence, would dispensing it not be their responsibility? I will contemplate your answer in solitude.
Do you always conceal your
The
third eye?
Navigator's open eye is baneful to whoever the warp's ruinous shine falls upon, and therefore it is the symbol of our power. We are the guiding stars of humanity, found worthy of an uncommon gift, and one of the duties that we bear is to guard our eye, even from wayward glances that may bear evil. Besides, I am aware that lesser servants of the Imperium may find our appearance repulsive. The Navigator gene twists the features the rabble are used to seeing, and the magnificence of our role cannot be grasped by their feeble minds.
You do not look repulsive.
Perhaps my appearance does not terrify you right now, but this will not always be so. The Navigator gene is unstable. My body is going to change over time. And only the God Emperor knows exactly how.
What does it feel like to guide a vessel through the
It
warp?
may be difficult to describe. You see, every navigator perceives the warp differently. My mentor, Great Regent Elronto, always described his travels through the Immaterium as a journey through a vast wood with countless paths. And I, assisting him in the first voyages, futilely tried to follow his example. But the wood would not reveal itself to me. But everything changed when I found my own key to this mystery. You see, I've always brightened up my rare moments of leisure time by painting. You may recall there was a workshop in my chambers. As soon as I imagined the warp as a blank canvas, an indescribable feeling came over me. I moved the brush, going deeper and deeper into my own painting. Visions were hidden within the vibrant colors of my palette, and something inside me knew which should be brought out and which should be left behind. I woke up several days later, after the voyage was safely complete.
I noticed that your love of painting is reflected in your speech as well. You associate so many images with hues and
The
colors.
Emperor graced me with a gift. I can see inner life in addition to the mundane. You cannot know that a fruit has rotten from the inside until a blade slices it in two. I can see the rot from far away. It roils like swamp mud, oozing through the bright peel. Anger and boredom, sadness and joy. Everything that people shut away inside themselves is revealed to me like colors on the canvas of my world. You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain. As
Tell
the
me about your
only
house.
voice of our family on this vessel, it is an honor. As long as your questions are courteous, I will answer every one of them.
I only got this one. Is the Orselio prophecy system named after your ancestor?
You are shrewd indeed. My ancestor charted that route while fleeing the enemies of humanity. They say the Emperor himself was his guide, because the warp expelled their vessel without a single loss. Unfortunately, the lips of those who relate this tale seep with disgusting green hubris. I think Kalain Orselio was simply a skilled navigator.
I take it your house has rich history.
Yes. The navigators of the house came to the Coronis Expanse fairly recently, a mere 208 years ago. Before that, our ancestors expanded the borders of humankind's dominion for the glory of the Emperor, blazing trails to different corners of the galaxy.
So who rules
Just
the house?
as a rogue trader stands at the head of a protectorate, a Novator heads a navigator house. It is the Novator who decides where to look for alliances and which path their bloodline is destined to tread. As for our house, the transfer of power to a successor is currently underway. In the meantime, Great Regent Auronto Orselio is ensuring the stability of the house.
Well, you lived in seclusion on closed station until Felix committed the sabotage, so then you must be the Novator's successor.
So, says Regent Auronto. Nothing is decided yet. Some people in the house become enshrouded in rolling grey clouds at the thought of me becoming the Novator. But even more are bound with dull leaden chains. They think I am not ready for such a burden. By all means,
Change subject. What does your special
Sister
sight reveal?
Argenta shines like a guiding star, inspiring resolve in those around her, seemingly inexplicably. However, I see a dark and ugly fog billow behind her, contrasting sharply with her shining light. It burdens the Sister of Battle. It drags her down. Yet Argenta herself is hardly aware of it. Seneschal Viserion is among the few whose colors are a pleasure to look at. Whenever the Seneschal speaks, heavenly crystal clarity spreads around him. And whenever he is angered, dark blue clouds condense over him. And in his rare moments of joy, a pure gleam of sunset pink caresses the souls of those near him. Out of your entire retinue, Lord Captain, he is the only one I would trust with my life. The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah. Behind the cobalt steel of his thoughts, behind the cold, faded gray of his emotions, an ember, the color of amber, glows in Master Van Kalox's soul. So bright and warm, one is tempted to touch it. It is sad that the interrogator seeks to drown it with his own hands in the bottomless blue of duty. Sad indeed, but I can relate. Idira's emotions are like a maelstrom, bright, unbridled, enveloping her form like a wondrous kaleidoscope of colors. And as dangerous as a twisting warp storm. The riot of colors hides the truth from my eyes. What exactly is driving this woman? Is it her own will, or is it the Immaterium, Lord Captain? Cubella is bathed in crimson as bright as fresh blood, and its sight is all the more striking in the embrace of impenetrable darkness. And yet, there is no malice in these heavy shadows. They are impartial, morose, uncompromising, and ever consuming what weak flashes of other colors there may appear. I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Okay, so that was good. So we've got to do the confession quest as well. I thought we had finished that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. This one, the Kleppas. I assume you heard my confessional message. We should talk about it. The important question is why. Is fault checking the Vox devices in the ship? I was fault checking the Vox devices in the ship's reliquary. Message recording works, but deletion is not. You'll help me establish that. Thank you. Why lop-eared Kleppas specifically? At the time, I had nothing to repent of, so I dictated an excerpt from an old letter of my mother. As you heard, it contained arguments in favor of keeping lop-eared Kleppas on the ship. I can still recite it from memory. I want a pair of Kleppas aboard the ship. I'm going to quote my mother's response. That is impossible. You see, the species went extinct several centuries ago. I'm very sorry, Lord Captain. There aren't any Kleppas to be had. Your confession perplexed the initiate. Find a way to delete it, and we shall forget about it. So that's the one. Abelard, anything new?
Lord Captain. Lord...
Heinrichs? Okay, I know nothing about you. Could you tell me a little about yourself?
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of those around me, not the reverse. I come from a night world, Guizorn III. I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses until my exceptional abilities were discovered. After that, I was sent on a black ship to Holy Terra, where I was trained, and I began my service for the glory of the Imperium.
Do you remember your home
I do,
planet?
but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn III when I was still a child. My family disowned me, stripping me of my family name. I was given a new one by those who trained me. Even for a noble, being branded a psyker is a mark of eternal shame. I experienced that firsthand before I was put on the Black Ship.
How'd you discover your
Like many
bodies?
psykers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response. My great-aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out. And when my great-aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her too.
Let's see, sorcerer's powers are truly dangerous. I hope you have mastered your abilities.
When I arrived on Holy Terra and was tested, I was found to be suitable material for becoming a sanctioned psyker, able to bend his curse to his own will. I can assure you that the adepts of the Astra Telepathica were right in their assessment.
Tell me about the black ship.
Picture a vast prison ship, filled with frightened, angry psykers who can't control their abilities and who have just lost their homes and their families. Some of them were children and adolescents like I was. Some were monstrous creatures who no longer had the right to be called human, or psychopaths who reveled in their impure powers. Once, when one of the miscreants broke free, those in command simply depressurized the bay and got rid of the culprit, along with the prisoners and crew tainted by him. But even after that, I heard the echo of inhuman suffering and terror that filled that part of the ship. It grieves me to recall that episode to this day.
You were sent to the Inquisition straight after training?
No. First, I was accorded the status of a psyker fit for service in the Imperial Guard, where I then spent several years. It was only afterward that I became an agent of the Golden Throne.
Okay. How long have you
Since
served?
the day of my initiation as an acolyte. So, decades. How many real years it's been, it's hard to say. When I return from a journey through the warp, I often discover that much more or much less time has passed in real space.
Let's see. You visited many worlds during your service, I'll
Indeed.
wager.
I have visited many of the places brought to the Emperor's light, and those sullied by the filth of the archenemy. In truth, even after all these years spent visiting the various corners of the Imperium and looking beyond its borders, I still consider the Segmentum Solar to be the greatest of all humanity's bastions. Nothing compares to the majesty of Holy Terra, the might of Mars, the grandeur of the Segment's other worlds.
Now, what duties have you been carrying out for the
You can't
Inquisitor?
really be expecting me to answer that question, can you?
Someone who's been in service for decades, you certainly
The first
look young.
step for biomancers such as myself is to take control of the processes of their own body, including aging. I've endured innumerable hazards in my work. If I allowed every trace of them to remain, I would look completely different today. Gladly.
You're not the Inquisitor's only acolyte, correct?
Of course not. The Lord Inquisitor's entourage comprises dozens of people. The best of the best. Experts in various fields and disciplines. Some of them I know personally. Others I've never met. To be honest, I'm not even certain that the people I know are still alive. I used to work with other acolytes of the Lord Inquisitor, but in the Coronis Expanse, I've been working alone.
Do you get
I
lonely?
rarely have the time or the opportunity to think about it.
If you're an interrogator, does that mean you hold a special position?
We are not a retinue. We are acolytes. As for your question, I am closer than anyone else to the one I call my personal teacher. The Lord Inquisitor deemed me worthy of undertaking the most important and sensitive tasks requiring the attention of agents of the Golden Throne.
Are there any other acolytes in the Cronus Expanse? Yeah, not gonna answer that.
Such as?
What can you do as a
The
psychic?
Lord Inquisitor was most insistent that I master the discipline of Santic Demonology. I use my faith and my power to crush the enemies of the Imperium. Servants of Chaos tremble at the sound of the Emperor's name, uttered by my lips. I am also a skilled biomancer. I can manipulate bodily processes. Sometimes I resort to those skills in the course of my work, when it is necessary to make the subject of an interrogation more cooperative.
Well, I don't want him to leave, so I'll take my leave. Your forces are doing a rather poor job of keeping order in lower decks. I caught some kind of rash because of them. Emperor protected after she gives me an injection. Void leprosy is a terrible disease that has afflicted several of the lower decks in recent years. Our chirurgeons know of a remedy that prevents its development at an early stage of infection, but if treatment is delayed, the patient's fate is not pretty. When did it begin to affect Bay LD-814? Why wasn't I informed immediately? Please, Lord Captain, I beg you to punish me for this transgression. Calm down, I am alive and well. Things could have turned out quite differently. I shall visit the temple and submit to a proper punishment of the flesh with a spiked scourge before his countenance. Okay? If you insist. Urge Officer, High Factotum. He made a confession lately. It's about the he's for the orphans. I'll not pry into how your lordship found out about my confession. I suppose to raise some questions for you. I'm willing to allocate extra resources to provide for the orphans. I marvel at your generosity. Will there be any specific instructions, your lordship? I trust you with this matter. Spend as much as you deem necessary. The children will know that you are their benefactor. As for me, I can assure you that I will find ways to procure enough funds to cover the expense. Abel's here. Is he new Abel? How are you feeling, Abel? The running of the binaric protocols was bogged down and dissolved in false commands. The filter has separated the correct signals from the incorrect. The running has been restored to its swiftness. Tech Brother Abel has passed the diagnostics. The pernicious influence of the sacrilegious procedures have been completely eliminated. Statistically, most survivors of a schismatical's infestation are left with severe cognitive impairments. However, Tech Brother Abel's mind, being of a less typical nature, has not been damaged to so great a degree. Let's see. Tech Brother Abel, you are free from possession, are you not? I trust you pose no threat to my ship. What was flawed has been purged, but the shadows of the hunt linger. The cog is dismounted and no judgment has been made. In the absence of judgment, the threat remains. Who will make the judgment? I will. I will make the judgment that you will avert the threat. There's no need to frighten him. What troubles him so? I assumed at first that this was caused by the shock inflicted upon his system by the schismatical attack. But my tech brother's words are a sign of a deeper reason for his unease. He foresees something. Something that threatens both him and all those around him, and thus I stand ready to face the threat. What judgment do you two speak of? Only he knows. But my tech brother fears that he might not make the right decision at the critical moment. Then I will do it for him. Why are you so concerned about him? He's not the one you were hoping to find. Answer unknown. I am registering a kinship both between our identifiers and one that is more profound. Archimagos Amernat left an imprint on all his students. It may be then that I see some of my mentor in Tech Brother Abel, and so my spirit rejoices and strives to keep him from harm. You care for him as if he truly were your younger brother. Tech Brother Abel is harmonious, and harmony is beauty. Is it so strange an urge to protect beauty from the horrors of the grotesque? I'll try not to do anything to frighten him. Why do you and Pascal have the same name? The naming of the names is not an index to the text. The naming of the names is the text. Abel's answers can be enigmatic. His mind works differently from ours. He thinks in harmonic imagery and notices the symmetries and proportional relationships in the world around him. Poetry would be the closest analogy to how he perceives and interacts with reality. I never imagined there could be poets among the tech priests. Why not? Technolingua is rhythmical and possesses a broad semantic scope, and some of its more sonorous dialects lend themselves well to individual and symphonic declamation. Pascal, do you understand what Abel is referring to? Negative. However, I will hypothesize. Tech Brother Abel is seeking to convey the idea that our matching identifiers are not the key to some vital data point. They are, in and of themselves, the vital data point. At this stage in my analysis, I can draw no useful conclusions from this proposition. However, the very fact that Tech Brother Abel is trying to hint at something points to him either being better informed than I am, or having conducted a more in-depth analysis of the situation. That is useful information. Abel, could you please explain what you mean? Are we overthinking it? It doesn't matter why your names are the same. What matters is that they are the same. Is that what you mean? At this point in time, the cycle has been broken and reshaped into a rising spiral as Amernat envisioned. They are connected. My hypothesis regarding Abel's connection to the blessed Amernat has been confirmed. What are you working on? We catch the soul of the light in the solar wind. We look for footsteps the Omnisci left when he walked the desert. This is the oniromantic computation procedure. The depersonalized minds of these machine servants are in the data stream, processing enormous arrays of assorted data and aggregating them. Virtually all results of such synthesis are scrap data, but occasionally we have noted coincidences whose exactness defied logic. It is an extremely rare and venerated form of statistical augury. Tech Brother Abel is adept at this form of appealing to the Deus Mechanicus. Let's see. Look for logical connections within the data. Most of the runes are devoid of any meaning, but you notice a few among them that combine into formulae and computational graphs. Abel peers at you inquisitively, then shifts his gaze to the vid screen, and you could swear that a smile lights up on his face under his respiratory augmetic. A crystal is exquisite in clear water. Deviation from the cycle's trajectory has been increased, as was Amernat's wish. Abel lowers his head, and his Vox synthesizer broadcasts a binary hymn you do not recall having heard before. Its sound is full of vibrant energy, and its precise rhythm is nothing short of pleasing to the ear, a rare thing for the language of the Adeptus Mechanicus. He explains with an inexplicable air of pride, Tech Brother Abel has dedicated a lesser aria to you. The piece is distinguished by a high degree of acoustic harmony and is fit for use as a motto, auxiliary identifier, or epitaph. I thank you for the generous gift. The gift is disproportionate, but it does signify a personal affinity. Why did you do it? It is how we execute the quest for knowledge in the hope that the machine guide grants us an epiphany, so that we may discern a logical connection in the mass of absurd data which will propel our comprehension forward. Well, let's inspect it. Okay. Did you hear what Abel said? It seems we have deviated to Amernat's design and deviated... It seems that we have contributed to Amernat's design and deviated from the cycle. What does that mean for you? Let's see. Lady Rumble. We follow a path charted by a great mind, but that path leads to dark places. The cycle has the advantage of predictability. Abandoning it will plunge the collective into a perilous space of uncertainty which will inevitably lead to disasters and the risk of universal annihilation. The doctrine of discontinuing the cycle may herald good things to come, or it may be a death sentence. Only the Omnissiah knows all, and comprehends all. Others are mere prophets who interpret his wisdom as far as their own comprehension permits. Let's see. It is better to meet the challenge of change and perish in failure than to rot alive. The statement is true, and the annihilation promised by stagnation is inevitable. Annihilation in the course of a crisis of change is merely probable, and meekly waiting for the foretold decline is shameful and constitutes a betrayal of the quest for knowledge. Let's take my leave. I am glad to see you. You talk normally for us. Thank you, Abel. You're good. I like you. Yura, anything new? Bella,
Delmin.
anything new? Pascal?
The Omnissiah knows all. The
Want to know the
request
truth?
is approved. I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
What did he
He
do?
fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things. My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that a ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and forced worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Fascinating.
Acknowledged.
How did you betray him?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected tech priests, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizant's fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen and thematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
Well, you acted as a loyal son of the Imperium should, I
I
guess.
pray that the Omnissiah grants us wisdom to overcome the dialectic differences that divide us.
So why did you go to Rykad
I was
Minoris?
summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code, and could be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain. We were in danger, and I had to go to Rykad Minoris.
And who is Abel?
Assessing his personality is difficult. The spirit of Brother Abel is different from that of most people. Tech comrades of the Cog call such persons quiet ones. He possesses significant intellect, but shuns communication. So far, I have not been able to determine why Abel summoned me to Rykad Minoris, how he is related to the Blessed Amanat, or why he bears the same name as me. Perhaps the Reverend Abel cannot fully actualize and interpret the available data.
So what are you gonna do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the Blessed Archmagos Amanat, who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link. Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search. May your late...
Well, we gotta finish the, tech... We gotta finish the, thing. Let's put these two up just so we can level them up. And take a look at Cassia's skills. See if we want her or Adira. Because Adira has lightning, which is good, but Cassia does have something similar, where she opens her third eye and just annihilates
I'm
things that are in
always
front of her.
You are in the presence
I'm
of...
restless.
So 11 ranks available, Jesus. Okay, so she could probably use willpower. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's useful. park some of these. As for what to give her here, probably this one. Okay, now for this. She's an officer. Interesting. Nah, that's too specific. Okay, well, let's get one of these. Interesting. Take aim is good. What do we got here? 30% increased hit chance on the next attack. Okay, so this is the target gains 30% increased hit chance on their next attack, dodge on their next dodge test, and chance of success on their next resistance. These bonuses disappear independently from each other after being used. 30% keep that. So this, okay, so this sets her on fire? No. Ah, I see. Okay, okay, okay. Reality. Only target allies that have at least one melee weapon. Immediately gains an extra turn during which they may use the ability to charge, and only this ability. That's interesting. That's interesting. She offers a lot of interesting things here. Well, we need held in my gaze. Yeah, we need this one. Commerce? We don't really have anyone with commerce, do we? Something like that. 2 ranks for you. Actually, she never holds a weapon, so parry probably not that useful. I just movement points for you. Okay.
A new challenge for me?
So we gotta talk to you. How odd. Odd that you should have listened to my confession, and odd that you should choose to approach me afterwards. Why? I felt there was anguish in that confession. I wanted to help. Confession made you anxious on my account, resulting in a waste of your time, for which I apologize. I am thankful for your consideration. Death always keeps close to astropaths, and its punishments for arrogance and weaknesses are severe. I have seen my fellows die, and at times the memories are exceedingly hard to bear. Sadly, almost every choir has a story like that, and a survivor who has carried their ghost with them ever since. My apologies, but I cannot continue worrying at these old wounds. Directing choir requires a clear and firm state of mind. There's that.
It's about time.
So now we want to go to the shrine. If we're gonna have Pascal, that means we gotta get rid of somebody else. Try this team for a little while. Yeah, this guy over here. I found the sources of the confessions. You have nothing to worry about. Nothing indeed. I'll pass the confessions on with a note regarding your personal involvement. May the Emperor protect your lordship. To the bridge, please. Bring me to the map. We shall go back to, Reichad Minoris. We want to go to the starport though, because we want to go down to the. We want to go into the sewer.
Follow my lead.
Not this one. Out of there. Yes, to the streets. Maybe.
I won't tolerate weakness.
We gotta find our way back down to the sewer area. Barrett, come on. Warehouse.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
That's it. Oh, there goes up. Okay, save the game right here. The sewers. An optional area. Let's see what we got down here.
Victory awaits!
Underhive rabble.
Halt! I noticed something.
The premonition runs true.
Slight prickling sensation at the back of your head. The barrier between the worlds, something or other. Either way, it sounds like
I am registering a significant quantity of non-essential self-harm inflicted by this unit. Requesting clarification.
You reshape your body so that it may reflect the depth of your devotion. So too do I reshape mine. The scars on my skin become prayers, and my every torment turns into zeal.
there's no ladder there.
A new challenge for me.
The whispers told me how.
Someone is watching us. Get the goods there.
I must thank you, esteemed Magos. After your intervention, I feel 50 years younger. Both my knee implants are as good as new.
I agreed to help out of respect for the priceless array of augmentations placed in your body. Such sacred creations deserve the best maintenance available.
The premonition runs true. Here we go again.
Okay. Okay, Cassie is an officer of your ship's navigator. She strikes foes with energies of the warp and supports your party by making her allies stronger. Let's see. Voice of Command is an officer ability that increases an ally's characteristics for 1 round, and also allows the officer to use their other officer archetype abilities on that ally from any distance. The higher the officer's fellowship bonuses, the more the target's characteristics are increased. You can use Voice of Command again after 2 rounds. Bring it down. Lets them immediately grant an extra turn to an ally. During this extra turn, the ally does not gain any movement points, but they do gain 2 action points. Let's see. If the ally is under the effect of Voice of Command and destroys an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally will be granted extra momentum for the kill. Lidless Stare is a unique damaging ability that assails all targets in a wide cone in front of the navigator with warp energies. The damage dealt is based on the willpower bonus. All creatures targeted by this ability must pass a willpower resistance test or be stunned. So what do we have here? Herald of Tzeentch. 160. What are these then? They aren't enemies. At least they're not marked as enemies. Maybe he turns them into enemies. Either way, John, back the fuck off. Abelard, cut it off. Dira, get out of combat with it. That would be for the best if you could do that, please. Also Cassia, get out of combat with it. That would also be good. Cabela, stay in combat with it. Pascal, get in front of it, please. Okay, yeah, so it did turn them all into enemies. Oh, you think you can just run away. Voice of Command on Cabela, how about that?
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Lidless Stare, we can get those 2. Don't get to hurt anyone else.
I'm not
Let's try
accustomed
that.
to being ordered around.
Okay, so he's gonna keep... So he teleported around.
Isn't
sure,
this a
let's
job
put
for
this
the
on
serfs?
John. Okay, so if he's gone... Abelard's ready to take care of those guys.
The shadows will see it done.
You get rid of them, please. I'll send you on a quest up there. Might as well go here.
Death comes in silence.
Scared yet? Let's get to it.
Okay, Abelard.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Just do something about those guys. You can also charge one of them, I guess. Charge this one. Ah, dang it.
It will be done.
At least he's in the way.
Out of my way!
Dare you!
Pascal, go here. And just kind of make sure that this guy's
Function successfully terminated.
Not gonna do anything too bad. Get analyzed on the Herald. So we are gonna have to take down like a bunch of these guys.
Show me what you've got.
Okay, Adira.
What is this foreboding?
I thought she had that thing so that she didn't have perils of the warp that would hit her.
On it.
Either way, we've got to be careful because this place is hard. The veil is already pierced here. What kind of line of sight do I have right now? Not much of a line of sight.
Suits my purposes. Hurting me was your biggest mistake.
Just take him down.
Not a problem for me.
Let's get to it.
Hold on.
Scared yet?
So they're on my side for now, until he goes over there and does his thing.
Battlefields are
Lister.
always drowned in scarlet. Clad in scarlet.
That's just... We might have to switch to Cassia. That's just a good ability. We already put it on her, didn't we? Oh, either way, we'll do it again.
High momentum.
Ooh, we can move Cabela up. Okay,
I bring
Cabela
mercy
here.
and retribution. Trust me. Come, the other side awaits. As honor ordained. Trust me. It's a
Bam.
blessing.
What in the hurt?
I shall not fail.
Yes, let's get him out of the way.
I will leave
Move
footprints
up,
of
move up,
scar.
Cabela.
Let's get to it.
Abelard just...
Indeed.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Time to slaughter someone.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. The Omnissiah condemns you.
Can we see the big boy?
Request.
Can.
Show me what you've got.
Get out of there, rebels. Adira, move up. That line of don't want to use any more. We don't want to use any more warp abilities than we have to.
Nothing I can't. Let's get to it.
He hasn't turned any of more against us, which is surprising. Oh, there we go. He got a few more. Just come that way. Go that way. Cassia can do,
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Cassia can do, her thing, but, oh, we don't have line of sight. Damn it.
All too easy. Nothing of value has
There.
been lost.
Increase his abilities. Yeah, Cassia's abilities don't affect the veil. In fact, they decrease it, so.
Trust me, killing brings me no pleasure.
No, we can't get close enough to them to do anything. So we gotta end the turn there.
At your beck and call. I took care of this one.
Finally! Jesus Christ.
Advancing. Functions successfully terminated.
One of them's done. And we can see the big boy. No,
Let's get
there's
to
no
it.
point. Adira, just stay there. Probably should have checked to see if he had line of sight to the big guy. He doesn't. That's okay though.
Suits my purpose. You didn't stand a chance.
Scared yet?
Yeah, Harold. Yeah, get closer. You're
An
dead.
offering of blood.
Bring it down.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Not a problem for me.
Now you can do it. You can
Suits
kill
my
both of them.
purposes. Nothing of value has been lost.
Rare achievement, cleaning out the Zinch.
Emperor, give me strength. I'm not accustomed. Try to die with grace, at least. Do you
Hey,
require...
we did it.
We must act. None shall stand in my way.
What's this? When the wearer successfully hits with a single shot attack, the target suffers slowed until the wearer is next to. That's interesting. There's goods at the top.
something of interest.
It does. Damn it, people.
Halt! I noticed something.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Increases melee attack damage against demon enemies by +2. If Flora has the Conviction Dogmatic, the damage is +4. We can use that.
It's about time.
Okay, well, we got some interesting treasure.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Looks like we've got some wounds, so we should probably head back to the ship. So we will do that once we find our way back to the middle. So that was a fun little adventure, and we learned that Cassia is pretty good. If we want her to take over for Adira, though, we need to get her warp lore up.
Follow my lead!
Time is it? I might have to, once we get back onto the ship, I might have to call it there. Since I'm starting to get hungry. Well, we got a lot done. For so little time. What's this? That brings us up here. We don't need to be up here. Need to go to our ship.
Victory awaits.
Go up the steps. There it is. Some flight, your lordship. If we'd been a little less lucky, we'd be checking into the port at the sky right now. What was that weapon they fired on us? Can't say no, your lordship, but the shots it fires certainly fly quick. I've never seen guns like that before. They were firing from far away, almost from beyond the bar. The horizon, that is. Who gave these Yavs a terrifying contraption like that? Your name, pilot? My bad. There, your lordship, senior flyer, senior pilot Nemus, appointed by the senior deck officer to serve as one of your personal shuttle. Take me back to the ship, please. Okay, so let's save. Yeah, I gotta call it there, unfortunately. Late start. I was making falafel, or the mix to make some falafel. That's been something I've been wanting to try for a while, is trying to make falafel. So I got that all diced up in the food processor. So tomorrow I can form the pieces and I'm gonna try baking them. I don't like dealing with oil for deep frying. I know that's not, traditional, but I don't know. I'd rather try baking them. Maybe I'll try baking half and then I'll try frying the other half. I'm gonna try baking first. But of course, small town grocery store doesn't have pita bread. Excuse me. So I ordered tahini. I didn't even think about ordering pita bread because I was like, oh, well, of course we got pita bread. There's gotta be pita bread there. No, of course not. There's like 50 different kinds of regular bread. Nope, no pita bread. But I have tahini sauce and pickles, which is good. Not that they had tahini sauce here, of course. I had to order that, but I didn't. When I was ordering tahini sauce, I didn't even think to order the pita bread. Oh well. Regular bread will have to do for this test run. And if it works out, then I will add it to the rotation of foods. I gotta make another pizza too after this at some point. So next time on Rogue Trader, we will go see the governor. See what this is all about. As we go to the conclusion of being in the Rycad system. So, as usual, this is John Crate signing out.